thought this was potatoes. Must be barley. It's not going to be as easy to follow the lines. But this will cover our lost fertilizer, barely. Also, again, the wheat field's not particularly square, so we'll probably do this by eye rather than try and follow rows. Okay. So just managed to not smash the sprayer on the hedge. I haven't watched much of Millennial Farmer's stuff, so and the stuff I have watched, I haven't seen what he has in way of equipment and how it's used. I think from a gaming aspect, I tend to be more like his style, where I have these tractors that do these multiple jobs, and I have these other tractors that I can use for the smaller, easier stuff. Don't really have a preference of, okay, this one does all the ploughing, this one does all the cultivating, this one does all the seeding. I switch the trailed equipment over as needed. Getting along, 74% tank left. Yeah, maybe 2-3 passes and we'll be done. Real world time is 9:30. So our plans for today, we are going shopping to the hardware store, because our contractor has got a whole list of parts we need for the new house. We went over to the house this week on Tuesday and discussed what we'd like to do, and we're going to have to figure out from that list how much we can afford to do. I'm pretty certain we are going to need to pull up the carpets as soon as possible, because the previous owner had cats and I am incredibly allergic, and I've had a sore throat ever since we went round and basically spent the afternoon there. So one of the first jobs that's getting done is all the carpets coming up and wood floor replacement, except in the bathrooms where we'll be putting tile, and the kitchen where we'll just be leaving the linoleum. Because Mrs. Osa wants to live with the kitchen for a time, and decide how it works with what she does and where we can make improvements. I mean, we've done that in all of the houses we've lived in. It's sort of, you live there for a year and then it's a case of, having the stove there is a problem. The fridge is just in the wrong place, or the wrong fridge. In our California home, there was the case of, there's an entire wall across the back of the garage that has nothing on it, and it would be really nice if we had some cabinetry and work surfaces, countertop. So the California kitchen was predominantly a smarten up the old cabinetry that had been there since 1965, replace the doors and the door hardware, and then build an entire run of cabinets along the back of the garage, or the wall at the back of the garage. And we did all that, and that turned out real nice, and then we moved. Transporting, I'm not in the right tractor for that, so no problems there. With this home, there was a desk that we really didn't use, so we took that out, moved the fridge over a little bit and put pantries on each side of it. The rest of the kitchen is by design approximately the same as it was, with just all new cabinetry and granite countertop. We also added another small cabinet next to one of the pantries alongside the fridge, which houses the microwave, because the microwave was sat on the countertop, which uses up valuable space. So basically what we did was make what we had a lot more usable, plus the electrics in the kitchen were horrendous. There were 3 circuits, but the countertops were all on the same circuit. So if you plugged 3 things into, or turned on 3 things, you'd blow the circuit. And stuff on that circuit were the power outlets, plus the dishwasher, plus the waste disposal. So if you boiled the kettle, were running the dishwasher, turn the toaster on, something would pop. And so that was just no good at all. And then on the other side, the only thing plugged in on that side was the refrigerator. So we ended up rewiring half of it. We got a bunch more power outlets along the countertops, but they each one is on a different circuit. And then the dishwasher's on one circuit, the waste disposal is on a different circuit, and the refrigerator is on a third circuit. So none of our heavy use items. The problem with the waste disposal is it's not that it uses a lot of power, but there's that get the motor started peak power usage, which would pop the circuit breaker. So by spreading everything around, we haven't popped a circuit since we rewired the kitchen. Oh, this is our turn. I'm going to go up and take a look at our fields, see if they've started growing yet. Because if they have, that'll mean we can spray them. But this new kitchen, I mean, the way it sits at the moment, we don't know what its problems are, or where we would feel more comfortable with something slightly different. So we leave that and live with it for a bit, and then design something more to our style. Okay, what does this field look like? This field looks like grass. Still not growing. Okay. Oops. So we're not going to spray that. That one looks like it was yesterday. Okay, I guess we're done looking. We'll take this back to the yard then. And the new home, the basement, is completely unfinished as well. So we'd like to get that studs and insulated. Basically to help with the heating bill upstairs, because obviously you're sitting on a very large volume of cold air. While the home is insulated on the underside, it's sitting on cold air is generally noticeable, or more noticeable, because it just is. And the furnace ductwork is visible in the basement, so you've got the furnace churning out hot air into the ducts, but no insulation to retain that heat. So at least by insulating the basement, we'll probably bring that up a couple of degrees. And there's the workshop. So narrow wheels, back doubles, narrow wheels. That's fine. Right, we shouldn't trip over any more things that get in the way, whatever they are. I think I will put this in this bay for now, since it's loaded for work. We'll do it from outside. So then I can't mount narrow tyres, which is why this is all on the Valtra for now. Okay, now I'm going to sell the low loader. And we also want at least the starts of electric in the basement. While the lighting appears to be set up okay, I mean they're basically, the lights are cabled in and there's a light switch. The light fixtures themselves are just attached to various beams, but it's all there, so we can change it and put in some proper fixtures onto the wiring that's in place once we start getting the basement finished. I'm going to guess that opens this way. Good guess. But everything else in the basement is running on extension cords. Even the vent for the furnace, or not the furnace, the hot water tank, that is plugged into an extension cord that runs halfway across the basement to another power outlet. So by getting the basement wired up properly, we can yeah, we can start plugging things into the wall where they should be. Unfortunately, the water softener is plugged into a power outlet on the wall, and the sump pump is, but there's no power outlets in the rest of the basement, and so previous owner was plugging stuff in and running multiple extension cords. It's not dangerous. It's, I mean, the cabling for the hot water vent is attached, it runs along the ceiling, so, and has wire holders to hold it up there, so it's not dangerous that you're going to trip over it. It's just, I'd prefer to have it plugged into a permanent power outlet on the wall rather than running through the ceiling halfway across the basement. and everything else that the previous owner had down there, because it wasn't a finished basement, it wasn't very well utilized. Obviously they did use it, but it wasn't a living area per se. Running extension cords across the floor, they didn't see that as a problem. Now, because we are going to be, we have our former foster kids come over, and the basement is the most convenient way to access the backyard. When they're in the backyard, we're probably going to be down in the basement, and we're going to need sort of a lounge area so that we can keep an eye on them. Okay, what did I just do? Oh, we wrapped it around the gate, of course. Why not? And I'm forgetting all my truck sim skills. Okay. There we go. That's so much easier. Okay, jump over there. That's probably just the back half of that. Yep, as I thought. What? I'll get out of here. Seriously? Okay, hopefully we can sell it in that state, even if we can't detach it in that state. There we go. Yay. So that was about 20,000. So we lost 2,000. This one is a little bit more expensive. I'm undecided. If I go with a steering axle, that's going to cause it to steer out. But if I don't, it's likely to be... Well, we park these on the bottom yard, so no problem. Yellow. I don't have anything that matches the... truck. So we'll go glossy black or I can't tell the difference. Okay. Okay, so that's that. By doesn't. It does have potentially has straps on it, so okay. Since we are now completely out of fertilizer, we will get a couple of barrels. Are going to need some for our yard. Oh, I'm not changing the truck colour. We picked maroon, it's staying maroon. So, options on this. Unfold low loader. Open cover. Oh, hello. Ah, good. Yes, that's what I was hoping for. So, I can go wide bed on that. And legs down and up. I'm gonna guess that... Nope. There are no straps. So that's kind of a problem for the job we have right now. But we're just going to have to live with it, I guess. We will eventually get a bale trailer or some bale remover so that we can use that for shopping trips. We've got the long car trailer that we can use for now. Since we're here and we need this fertilizer, I was hoping I could strap this down, but it looks like that's not going to be a thing. Doing too badly with these. Just don't speak too soon. So we'll be able to use this for moving heavy machinery around. Because it has the adjustable width. It's going to be a little easier in some cases than the normal one. Oh, yes, we made it. Got a feeling I have this pallet in completely the wrong place on the fork, so it's not going to be as easy to get off. Maybe I am mistaken. And the last one. I'm not a great telehandler user, but the way this pivots, it makes it much easier to line up the forks under the pallet. So I might get a smaller one for the farm later. messed that up completely now. There we go. Okay, not too bad, I guess. Keep it in reverse. Well, that's as far back as we go. Okay. Okay, that's close enough.